Go-to. That's cuts down everything. This cuts down your battery power. This cuts out your solar power. You have no juice running through your wires right now. It's safe to touch everything. Change your fuses over here. They already are marked. Fan, cigarette lighter box, which is that guy down there, and your lights, which is going to be this other line that I put that has nothing on it, which is going to be for lights. So it'll
Wait,
supply power
cigarette
to your
lighter
lines.
box?
This guy. That's what I call the cigarette lighter.
Oh, the
box.
oval thing? Okay,
oval.
okay.
And
then lights.
that's it. I mean, if you add other stuff, we can always add it in. You got plenty of other spots for it. I left the fuse for the lights out so that there's no juice running through the wire. But once you set up your lights, you come over here, grab this guy out of here, and put it in there.
Okay, does that mean
it's on an empty spot right now? These are all empty, and then from here on, they're all empty. So you got like 9 more accessories you can hook up, and then there's 3 hooked up so far: the fan, the cigarette lighter, and the light.
What do I plug the lights into once I have them?
Well, it depends on what kind of lights you can. You know, that's why I left it empty, so that when you come back, then I can set it up for you.
Okay. Well,
That's important. This guy. Let's turn everything back on. Okay. This guy here, when it starts up. This OK button also works as a light switch, and it kills everything. When that is on, that means your load is on, and it'll be measuring here. When you hit the OK button, it'll turn it on.
Oh.
And you won't have. It'll be like almost like a secondary, like an in-between kind of safety breaker feature.
So if anything is going weird, then I would hit OK and turn it off?
If anything's going weird, go here.
Okay.
Go here. This is just,
so
I'm just showing you, it's
for?
just, it has that option.
Okay.
Where if you wanted to, like, let's say, shut off the lights real quick and everything down and go night, but then it's going to shut off everything else too.
Okay.
This actually shuts off this box.
So, like, would that be what I would use if I was gonna, if I got to someone's house and I'm staying there for a few weeks and I don't need the power in my van? Would I just hit OK and turn everything off that way?
Everything come here.
Oh, with that.
And shut everything down.
Oof. Okay.
Shut everything down so nothing flows and your batteries stay.
Okay.
Because these stay fresh for a long time. So turn it down, and you won't be pulling or nothing. Nothing will be like, you know, draining your battery.
Okay, so I never want to shut it down with this, basically. Okay.
It's just an option.
Okay.
If you're in here that you want it convenient to just shut everything down, hit the OK button.
Okay.
Otherwise, leave it on all the time.
All right.
Make sure that the light bulb is on.
Okay.
On the little display there.
And what do I do with this?
That's it. This is just to look at.
There's a lot of buttons there.
Let me just to show you. There is a menu screen. And there is a monitoring. Yeah, it always goes back into the monitoring. If you hit OK, it just comes back.
Okay.
Here you have your device info. Nothing much here other than hit OK. Other than what the device is rated up to and the current charge and discharge.
Okay.
That's all that is. And then you get escape to go back. Let's go down to the next one. That's just a test operation. Really nothing to mess with there. I don't even mess with that. Control parameters, that's something that has the LifePro programming in it. It has automatically, it's set to 6, even though yours is only 412.
Okay.
It sets itself automatically to 600 and covers whatever, I guess, like in stages. If you go higher than that, it goes up to like about 1200 or something. So it just goes in those kind of stages. All your temperature stuff and everything is already programmed in. Over voltage disconnect so that you don't burn out your batteries. A charge limit for them and everything. When it gets down to 0 degrees, it'll let this guy, the BMS and the batteries take over and shut everything down and not charge and not start to charge until the BMS tells it that it's okay to charge. Other than that, there's just a bunch of other numbers where it'll warn you. These are going to be the warnings up here. Where are they at? Low voltage. No, down here. Here, on the voltage warning. When it hits 12, you'll hear a beep out of this box. That means that you are going low on battery. maybe you're using something like maybe something strong, maybe one of the cooking things. If it beeps, that means you went under, weren't paying attention to your voltage before you started, and you started cooking, and you used up too much energy. Just stop what you're doing, turn that appliance off, give it a chance to recharge. If you're at a place where you can shore charge, plug in, let it shore charge. It should give you enough charge in about 3 to 4 hours.
So if it beeps, that's a low battery warning.
That's a low battery warning, which I doubt very highly you will ever hear.
Okay. Can I hear what the beep sounds like? Can you make it do it? 'Cause there's so many different types of beeps, and I assume lots of things in here beep.
I can't make it beep. No. Okay. If we do, we be messing with the batteries and running a hell of a load in here and all that and getting everything hot. But it's a very faint beep. I know that. It's not really like piercing, but kind of like of an alarm beep, 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 beep. I've heard when I burnt it, the big guy, I mean, that it had like kind of a beep, but I have yet to hear this box beep or hear the alarm out of it or anything. So I don't know how loud it is, and I've never been able to make it beep.
Okay.
Because I don't buy. I watch my stuff. I make sure I don't go under. So I never got to that point. So I don't know. I know my inverter. You know what? Your inverter will beep loud as shit when you do get low.
Oh, good. Okay.
So all you gotta do. Yeah. Because you'll be running that load that will make it beep off of this guy, which is your inverter. That's like a little remote for your inverter.
Oh, that's the inverter? Dad thought that was the AC. Okay.
This is your inverter, and it turns on.
Okay.
And there it is on. And so if there's something wrong, the red light will come on. If not, it's already shut. So
it has to stay on in order for the AC to be used, though, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So I would turn it off unless I was using it.
Exactly.
Okay.
If you're not cooking, if you're not this, if you're not that, shut it down. That idle's pretty good, so it ain't gonna use up a lot of energy being on.
Cool.
Pretty much a lot less than a refrigerator. Literally, at idle it uses like maybe 1 watt.
Oh.
2 watts.
So would I keep it on then, or?
Whatever you need.
Okay.
That's why it's convenient, and I left it like this, nice and long, so that when we finish up more, then if we're gonna put it somewhere permanent. I was even thinking about right here.
Yeah,
this box is already started.
That would be pretty cool.
Just finish it out and put it right there with 4 little screws. You'd be good, So, but until everything's done, because I don't know if something might be in the way there. I don't know. We'll see. But when everything's done, then we can permanently set all this stuff, all these things wherever you want them at, wherever they're useful for you. And now that you're going to take it and take a test drive, you can come back and tell me, look, I need this one there, I need that one there, I need this one here, I need this one to stay long so I can move it back and forth. You tell me, and then we'll make it that way.
Oh, okay.
But at least, and that's just more information, a boost time, equalize time, that's all programming stuff. That's it, and we get out of there. And then number 5 is load set. This you don't have to worry about.
Cool. Okay.
It's already hooked up into the controller where the load is running all your accessories. So there's nothing to set there, because if you do set it, it'll turn it on and off when you don't want it to. So you always want it on. So I left it at on and at manual setting, so that you can like come and hit the OK button and turn it on and turn it on. So you can always turn your load on and off as a safety feature. Device parameters is just more information. Password is always 0000.
Okay.
That's it. So I kept mine that way because it's easy to remember, and when I rarely need it. Factory reset is just to put everything back to factory settings the way it comes. Usually it comes with flooded programming at factory default. Failure info, if you go in here, it'll tell you if there was ever any failures, kind of like if something went wrong or something, it would show you here and basically tell you what it is. The meter parameters, I don't think there's nothing there to really bother with.
Easy.
The only thing that's here really is the backlight keeps it on for 90 seconds. If you want to do less or more, you can go into it by hitting OK for 5 seconds. That light will come up, then you can move over to it. That one I like to leave at 0 because it communicates a lot faster with the box. And then here you can go up, down, whatever. I leave it at 90 seconds is a pretty good time. And then when you hit OK, then you want to hit save success, and that's what it basically does to program everything in here. And you go hit OK, you go back to monitoring.
So this is how much I have coming in, and this is how much I have going out. What's this?
That is what, the happy face?
No, the middle numbers.
The battery. That's your battery. That's your solar, and that's your load. So that's
what I'm storing.
This is what you have. This is what you have, which is 13 volts, and you have negative 2.3 coming out because you only have 0.1 going in, and then you have 0.26. Well, now it changed, but when you have a load on it, you have that much coming out. That means the fridge is running.
So there's more coming out than is going in.
Going in right now. That's why it should be in the sun.
Even though the only thing running is the refrigerator. That's not good.
No, it's okay. You're not. I mean, it's not like you're pulling a hell of a lot of amperage out. If you were pulling like 10 amps out of there.
It just seems like if I'm not actually using anything like lights or anything, that there should be more going in than coming out.
Well, you better be parked in the sun. We're in the shade here.
All right. Okay.
If you were in the sun, you'd be pumping in way more than what you're taking out. You'd be pumping in like 10 amps.
Wow.
And at the most, almost 20 with that panel.
Whoa. That's a lot.
When it's like from 12 to 3 o'clock, you'll be pumping some crazy juice into this battery.
Cool. All right.
When you look at the end of the day, this chart tells you how much you generated, and then this will tell you how much you discharged.
Oh.
So it keeps track of all that stuff in totals, in monthly, the life of the thing, and the day by the day.
What did you hit to see that?
All you do is go. Let's see. This is the start. All I did was hit down twice.
Oh, okay.
And then to look at the discharge, you move over.
Okay.
And go back. Move over again. It'll go back to the discharge. And then when you want to go back up to your screen.
Okay.
Because this is like a scroll through just to look at everything in general. It'll show you the controller temperature, the load, how much running watts you're using, blase. It tells you if the load is on or off, if there's any faults, no faults. So it's basically like it checks the wiring for you and tells you, hey, there's no faults. See, the manual control is on so that you can control it. And back to the beginning again.
Do I have to wait, is the happy face just always a happy face? Does it mean anything?
It means your battery's happy.
Okay, so if it gets too low, it turns into a sad face?
Yeah.
That's so
cute. And in the middle, it's like this. So it's cool. It tells you your battery status at the glimpse of an eye. You know, oh, okay, my battery's happy.
It's so cute.
It's really cool. It's very simple. Very, very simple. You look at that face, you know you're okay.
Okay.
That's very, very simple.
All right.
Very simple. If anything ever happens, this thing will go off warning and you'll hear a beep from it.
Okay.
And you come over here, shut everything down, give me a call and we'll work it through.
And if I plug into shore power, do I need to change anything
That's one more thing you need to learn.
Okay.
Shore power. Over here. Okay. I wanted to show you this connection because it's very important that you make sure this battery charger stays on LiFePO before you start charging. So I made it so that it's loose in there so you can pull it out and see where you're plugging into here. There's a little plug here and you plug into it. Don't plug in until you plug in outside first.
Okay.
Because you have to make sure that it turns on or is set to LiFePO programming with this one button here. This button you don't have to worry about. It's set to 20 amps, so it'll charge your batteries real fast wherever you go. You don't have to set it lower. It'll charge it slower. Okay. You want it to charge fast.
All right.
This one button here will control. Go ahead. Get in there. Will control what kind of battery you are charging.
Oh, weird. Okay.
So far, so good. Every time I plug it in, it's like it holds its memory and is lighting up on LiFePo. But in the book, it says to make sure it's on LiFePo before you start charging. So I left this plug like that so that you can not have it connected to the battery when you first start it up, because if it starts charging on a different type of battery, it could mess up the battery. So we have to come over here and just make sure it's on LiFePo. You hit this button until the LiFePo battery lights up. Then you can plug this in.
Okay.
And it goes this way in here. There's a little hole down there. I could just feel it and put it in.
You both.
Yeah, there we go. Then it's plugged in, and it'll start charging automatically when you hit the button to go, or it'll be on LiFePo already, and then it'll start charging.
So plug in shore power, turn on that, push the right hand button, however many times it takes to
get to LiFePo, and then plug in.
Okay.
Yes, that's very important. That's the only thing with these chargers. You have to set them in order for them to charge at the right rate.
And that has to be down there, right?
Well, that's as far as this cable will reach that they sent with it. So I figure they want it close to the battery.
Okay, that makes sense.
And they give you a long cord, so I was like, okay, that makes sense. Let's put it close to the battery. Figure it's with all the electronics, so, But, yeah, and it's automatic, and it works. I tested it already. Everything works, everything, so we're good to go. That's it. So like I said, the most important things are these two buttons. So if anything happens, you come over here, shut down. Don't worry about it anywhere else. You come here. And then the charging, just make sure you plug outside first, then plug this in.
Okay.
That's it. That's it. Everything else is worry-free.
I don't need to know anything about the MPPT.
No, sir. This is the black box.
Oh,
is your MPPT.
That makes sense.
It goes all the way to it through this cable here, and
so I don't ever need to do anything on the box itself.
No, sir.
Okay. Sweet.
Worry-free box. You don't have to touch a darn thing there.
Sweet.
The inverter, another worry-free product here. You don't got. There's nothing. You got a remote.
Yep.
You turn it on without ever having to lift up your bed.
Very cool.
And this you got, and you don't have to lift up your bed. The only time you have to lift up your bed is in an emergency where you have to shut off. That's it. That's it. And if anything happens, these guys will go off first.
What are those?
Breakers. Those are your breakers. These guys will trip like this.
Oh.
Your inverter will shut off. Low battery. That beep.
That's a good beep too. That is. I cannot miss that beep. That's terrible.
So, you see what I mean?
Yes.
You will get warned.
Yes.
And there's so many safety features that you can't fail.
Yeah.
It's very foolproof. I did exactly what I did. It's like overkill, but it's with safety in mind, because this way you don't burn up.
Right.
And you save your shit.
What are those?
Those are just distributor blocks that I use as bus bars. It's where all the power gets distributed. It's like moving your battery terminals up here on the panel.
Oh, okay.
So that you're not connecting all this wiring to your battery terminals, because then you're going to run out of room with all the connections that you put on.
That makes sense.
So everything got moved up to this. Well, where is the one for this? Well, this guy has to go through a fuse first. Then it goes through the shut off and then through the distributor block. Because coming backwards actually goes... I'm confusing myself here. That's for the inverter. That's for that. Where does it go? In here. Okay, yeah, there. Your power comes up here, then gets fed here, then comes to a distributor block. Over here, the negative just comes straight to the distributor block because it doesn't need a fuse on the negative side. You always put your fuses, your breakers, on the positive one. So I even put it before the shut-off switch, so that if anything happens here, it gets cut off. If it happens here, it gets cut off. Even if this guy fails, it cuts off.
That's really neat.
So, and these are really solid state breakers. And you don't ever need the fuse. You don't need a fuse here with this stuff. The only time you need a fuse is for your accessories, and those should never burn out. Those are Those should, if they do, if something's wrong.
Ah, I gotcha.
If they do, something happened. Something went wrong. You cut these off, and you call me.
Okay.
Because that when those goes off is because something's complicated, some kind of short in the wiring somewhere, or something didn't go right. Like I said, I highly doubt it. I got everything zip tied, out of the way of moving parts and stuff like that, and I think we'll be fine. I think we'll be more than fine.
Good.
Yeah, it came out really good. Almost looks like a damn stereo system.
Yes. Yeah, that's what Maverick said.
Shit. Looks really good. And you should be good. That's it. Like I said, it's very simple. These two buttons. Learn to power up out there before you power up in here. And then this guy tells you everything that's going on under here. So that's it.
Sweet.
That's it. It's very simple. It's not complicated. Not complicated at all.
The genius behind the electric, everybody.
Hey, I do my thing.